What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Tuesday morning episode of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Peralt. You guys can follow me across all socials at Sports Talk Matt. And this podcast being brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. Not a good Monday night. Bad start to the night. Bad start to the week, rather. Yeah. The Derek Carr experiment should probably be over. That jump ball on the first drive, their offense is really good. I mean, there are real weapons on that offense for the Saints. And Derek Carr I know he got hurt and left the game, but yikes. Derek Carr was a disaster last night. That first jump ball interception was a killer. Missed extra point was a killer for some of you who had the teasers at 12.5. I had the teaser at 11.5. So we go down with the 5.5. That was never really in play, but the teaser was. We got the over. We didn't get the 11.5, unfortunately. Saints lose by 13. We did not get the Justin Watson over. I have no idea where he was. Flip that around, by the way. Watson did not hit. Kamara did. Sorry. So flip that on your screen. Flip that around. But down 0.235, down 2.35 units on the night. So rough start to the week. Rough Sunday, rough Monday. Let's dig our way out of it here today. Welcome back, NHL hockey. Today, 3 games. Tomorrow, even more in the NHL. I've got 2 more NHL futures to give you from a win total perspective, point total perspective. And I have a play off of the WNBA Lynx bet that we made that we have a plus 132 wager on that you can choose to play if you would like or not. It's up to you here on a Tuesday. Oftentimes, when I get off to kind of a couple days of a rough start, I like to go a little light, kind of regroup a little bit. That's going to be the example here today on a Tuesday. Not going to go too crazy. 2 futures bets and 1 bet going for tonight. That will be a hedge off of the Lynx and the Sun in the WNBA as they play Game 5 here tonight in their best of 5 series to go and take on the New York Liberty in the WNBA Finals. But before we go and give you those picks and plays, and by the way, just real quick, both college football games, their spreads are 17 and 20.5. I really tried to make a college football bet. I mean, I'm serious. I really tried to make a college football bet tonight. I couldn't get around to taking or laying on a Tuesday night with big numbers. It just not a huge fan of either game in terms of just the spread being way too high. But let's talk about DraftKings and the Pick 6 available now. Download the new DraftKings Pick 6 app and use the code JUICE. That's code JUICE. For new Pick 6 customers, play $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits. That's guaranteed. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-7897-777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions may vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos. Okay, so let's talk about the first bet, the Boston Bruins, over 97.5 wins. If you did not hear that breakdown, the real quick explanation is the Bruins have hit this in every year for the last 6 years, except getting into the COVID year. And Jeremy Swayman's back. Everybody was like, oh no, Jeremy Swayman, he's back. He could start tonight. Jeremy Swayman might be in net tonight for the Boston Bruins, okay? So the Bruins are going to be fine, okay? The Bruins are, I'm not worried about everyone just hand-wringing and getting so nervous about the Bruins. What are you going to do if the Bruins aren't good? What happens if they got to a slow start because of Swayman? And I'm not worried about the Boston Bruins. I'm not worried about Jeremy Swayman. I think we're okay. Bruins play against the Florida Panthers. They're plus 126 dogs tonight. The St. Louis Blues are at the Kraken, and the Blackhawks are at the Utah Hockey Club, which is still going to be hard for me to understand. That's Arizona, in case you're curious. That's the Coyotes. What to make of them, I have no idea. The Blackhawks are dogs at plus 136. If I was going to make a bet here tonight, I would bet the Blackhawks. I think the Blackhawks are going to be better than people think. Young talent taking a step forward. Utah, first game, new building, though. That's the worry, right? You got all those hyped up Salt Lake fans because they have pro hockey. I remember the first game for the Golden Knights back on October the 3rd, 2020. What was that? 7 years ago? So 2018. Bonkers. Absolute bonkers atmosphere. Now, that was after the Route 91 shooting and the worst mass casualty shooting in U.S. history that happened 2 days prior here in Las Vegas. So that was added. But they were up to a 3-0 lead in a blink in that first game. Not to say that Utah will do that against Chicago, but that's why I wouldn't bet it, because I like Chicago, but I'm worried about that first game for the Utah Hockey Club being in Salt Lake. Blues and the Kraken, who knows? It's game one, but the Bruins with Swayman against the Panthers. I don't mind a Bruins play for the Bruins Monday line, but not making any of those plays. We have bet Bruins over 97.5 points for this season. So, bet number 2. One more over, one more under. Let's talk here about the Dallas Stars and over 103.5 points for the Dallas Stars. The Dallas Stars can win the Stanley Cup. This might be their year. The Dallas Stars are going to be really good, and I think we're going to see a much better year this year out of Jake Oettinger. Jake Oettinger used to be an under machine. All of a sudden, Jake Oettinger in net became an over machine. He just did not save the puck the same way. He did not have the same type of professionalism. For whatever reason, he just wasn't there. I think he could have a big bounce back year this year, and if he does that, the Dallas Stars can win it all. Why? They've got a hell of a lot of talent. I mean, a hell of a lot of talent. Jason Robertson's tremendous. Wyatt Johnston's a great, great weapon. Tyler Sagan's a tremendous player. Jamie Benn is just frankly awesome. I mean, they've got great offensive weapons on the wing that score a ton of goals for this team. They've got 2 good goaltenders. Casey DeSmith's not awful. Oettinger needs to be good. Not just good, he needs to be great. I think he could be great this year. They've got a decent top defenseman pairing. They need a little help on the depth, I think, there defenseman-wise. But Dallas is darn good. I mean, they are really, really good. And they basically have the same exact team back from last year's team. And last year's team was great. They won the West with 113 points. Okay, so now we're sitting here with a total of 103.5. I mean, look, I may bet Dallas to win the Stanley Cup at some point this year, okay? I mean, I haven't done it yet, but at some point this year, you could see me on the Dallas Stars to win the Stanley Cup. We're going Dallas Stars over 103.5 points in 2023-24 at -110 for 1.1 units. By the way, I simply put 1.1 units down on futures just to be conservative. I bet more on futures. If you want to bet more, go right ahead. Bet whatever you feel comfortable, okay? You want to bet $100, you want to bet $1,000, do whatever you like. It's a whole season. We're not going to cash these bets till the spring. So it's got to be worth your time. Okay, it has to be worth the money. So make sure you're putting down. I just do it for simple tracking to say, hey, all future bets are just 1 unit or 1.1 units, but you do what you want. Okay, put how much money down you want on it, whatever makes sense for you. Go right ahead. Because again, if your normal unit size is $100, I mean, this bet's not going to cash until the spring, like I mentioned, until what, June, May, June. So your money's tied up. That's a problem, but you're buying a position early on wins, and then you play it out later in the year. So Bruins over 97.5 wins. That's at FanDuel, by the way. And then you can get most books are at 103.5 for the Dallas Stars, over 103.5 for Dallas. Now, I do have an underplay, and that underplay comes in with the Calgary Flames, under 81.5 points for the Calgary Flames. Why? Calgary is going to stink. Now, last year they had 81 points. So the books came back basically with the same price, 81 points. But they traded away their top goaltender. Jacob Markstrom's gone. They're going to start a rookie, Dustin Wolf. Yeah. And a backup goaltender named Dan Vladar. Good luck, okay? Good luck. I mean, this is a prospect they got going on here. They like him. They think he could be okay, but he wasn't outstanding in the minors. He was all right in the minors. I don't know how many goals this team's going to score. I didn't like last year the Flames at all. I think they're in a rebuild mode in a big way. I think anybody of talent, of real value, gets traded away at the trade deadline. I don't want to call it a tanking season for the Calgary Flames, but they have no interest. Like they have no interest. And they're just playing the string out here. They want to get younger. They want to get draft picks. They're trying to rebuild. I mean, they've lost a lot of talent. Markstrom being gone is horrible. I mean, they're plus 7,500 to win the Stanley Cup. I mean, they're plus 5,000 to go ahead and just win the to win the Western Conference. Like, forget it. I mean, it's not happening here for the Calgary Flames. I'm going under for the Calgary Flames, under 81.5 points for Calgary. Now, The Connecticut Sun are playing Game 5 tonight in the Western Conference Finals in the WNBA, okay? 4.5. We have a money line bet on the Lynx that will pay us at plus 132. The Lynx are minus 188 here to win this game tonight, okay, on the money line. So obviously we have a great number. Let's try to double dip. Let's have the Lynx win by 1, 2, 3, or 4 points tonight. Let's take the points with the Connecticut Sun. It's a little bit of a hedge, right? Because if Connecticut wins the game outright, we lose the 1 unit play on the Lynx, but we win this bet, so it's a wash, okay? It's a great wash. If the Lynx win but don't cover, beautiful. We go 2-0. We hit both bets. So I would only really play this if you have already bet the Lynx. If you came in and bet the Lynx to come back when they were down 0-1 to Connecticut, we bet them at plus 132 to win the series. If you have that ticket, bet Connecticut at plus 4.5 here in game number 5. Winner advances to take on the Liberty in the WNBA Finals. This game's at Minnesota. The Lynx have been tremendous, but Connecticut looked great in game 4. And there's a lot of people who think they win the game outright. They go to Minnesota and they steal one here, and it's New York versus Connecticut in the WNBA Finals, okay? I don't know what to do with the total. It's an elimination game. Most often in elimination games, we take the under. When you take the under, you tend to take dogs, okay? So I could very easily see it happen. This game's on TV, 8 p.m. Eastern time. It's going to be aired on ESPN2. So you got nationally televised national audience to watch this game here tonight. I'll be watching this game. You got Major League Baseball obviously up against it. So you got some, difficulties there with Major League Baseball with all 4 series going. By the way, all 4 series are tied at 1 game apiece in the divisional series for the first time in history. But you've got a lot of competition, obviously, with Phillies, Mets, Dodgers, Padres. There's 2 games going tomorrow. So not 4, all 2. Phillies, Mets, and Dodgers, Padres tomorrow. The American League plays. Why do they do that? Okay. The American League plays on Wednesday. But Phillies, Mets, Dodgers, Padres, obviously competition for this game. But Connecticut, plus 4.5. Let's go ahead and jump in with them and see if we can double dip with it with the Sun at plus 4.5 in Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals. All right. Bruins over 97.5 points. Dallas over 103.5 points. Calgary under 81.5 points. 3 future bets for the NHL season, which begins here tonight. Sun plus 4.5 at the Lynx in the WNBA Western Conference Finals. Welcome back, hockey. Should be a lot of fun. My name is Matt Peralta. Follow me across all socials at Sports Talk Matt. Every morning, it's the Daily Juice Podcast presented by DraftKings.